What defines a woman value is, subjective. Depends on who you asking. For some of these dudes, if a woman look good or got a fat ass, oh man, that's she a 10. She got hella value. To me, like I said, one is how much she likes me. How much she desires me is going to be the most important thing for me dealing with a woman. I'm not dealing with no woman who don't love my dirty draws. If she ain't ready to die, still kill, go to jail for me. If she's not going to treat me like Drake, if she's not going to treat me like she would treat Chris Brown, then I don't want her. That's number one, because once you get that, everything else is easier, right? Number two, she has to be useful, right? Because like I said, looks fade. And even if looks don't fade, how long is this bad woman going to be bad to you once you have her, once you done had sex with her 100 times? That's neither here nor there anymore. What's left? She has to be useful. She has to be competent. She has to have a pleasing personality. She has to be able to control her emotions and manage her emotions so she's not giving me a problem. She has to be willing to bow down to me. That's what makes her valuable to me. How I feel is the most important. So if a woman could make me feel great, man, that's where she get her number. For me, that's valuable to me. You ask these other dudes, looks is the only thing, but they got a bad woman and they going through hell at home. To me, that's not a valuable woman to me.
Yeah, I'm disturbed by this, man, because the title of your stream is called "What's a Valuable Woman?" But Darwin's ass is locked in on this goddamn man. Like you got a thing for this motherfucker, man. What is going on?
I can't believe it, Jesus. I can't believe it, Jesus.
I don't understand, dog.
No, man, you might feel like you've been caught with stray because of your own way. So it might just hit you hard. It might resonate with you in a way where you might think I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about you, Hank. If that's the reason why you're trying to throw shade at me. I'm just talking about what the dude said, and I know how toxic it can be for us. I see guys hype guys up on these panels and all that stuff. Oh, you're a good dude. You got a good. You got a shitty podcast, bro. You're not really. Just tell it like it is. Just like y'all want us to tell. Just like we want to tell.
How do you know somebody has a shitty podcast?
That's not the case with Poetic Flakko.
If I watch it.
No, that's not the case with Poetic Flakko. And I watched you.
I didn't say. Hold on. Let's keep. I was just using that as an example, but I wasn't referring to him specifically.
Okay, that's fine. Let's get back to the word salad and the spin that where you couldn't concede. Pull it back.
I didn't use any word salad. I was as clear as day, bro.
I'll wait. So, valuable points were given for you to at least mull over. But guess what? You couldn't get it because you were so quick to respond and defend your point. There were two guys that tried to give you points, and then you stretched it to somewhere else in Catmandu, trying to make a point of, okay, line up 10 Poetic Flakkos, 50 pounds lighter. That could easily be debunked if I put one Rick Ross or one Fat Joe in that position. So that just made that null and void right there. For you to just see where you were going, and then you're trying to find a nook and cranny to validate your statements rather than just walk it back for a minute and see where Shannon was coming from. But guess what you didn't? You just chose to overtalk it because you felt the point was valid. And you should be able to read the room, because a lot of people was like, where'd you get that from? And we honestly wanted to see how you did your math. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. I think y'all just don't understand where I'm trying to come at with this point.
Definitely.
No, I get what you're saying.
I totally understand exactly what y'all are saying. And if y'all don't think I understand y'all, I don't know how. Maybe y'all can ask me a question to test it, but I don't know how I can explain it. I literally understand every point y'all made. And I'm still standing on the fact that anytime you can be better, anytime that you have a flaw that's obvious, me personally, and I think a lot of women would side with me. I'm an image consultant, so I can look at man and woman without having to be questioned. How my sexuality be questioned. I know it's more flattering. I know what's more attractive. I know how to layer the body so it's more appealing in the clothing. I know how to do all those things. I also know how to look at the physicality of the body, the weight, the health, the nutrition, and all those things, the jawline, whatever, and be able to tell you that the more flattering parts are just going to stick out and stand out and be more attractive. And women tend to cleave to that regardless of whatever money you got. If all of the men in the room have the same socioeconomic status, and one is just better looking, the better looking one is going to have women wanting to compete over. I don't know how.
The conversation.
Hold on, real quick. I don't know how y'all can't. I get
the
it.
paradigm of the conversation was different once you started your critique, and your critique did not fit. It was challenged, points were put on as for why that wasn't valid to the conversation and the direction we were going. But guess what you did? You chose to open up different narratives to just rather than see what people.
And that's probably because I came in late. That's probably because I came in late.
You opened up with I saw everything. Don't come in here talking
about listen. I apologize when I came in and commented and gave my input after Marcus went. It wasn't in flow of what was initially the topics y'all or the energy y'all was bringing. I just questioned. Hold on. I just wanted to question what the dude was saying.
I can see.
Go ahead, man.
Darwin, listen, we understand, and everything you said, we agree with. You know, if you can obviously see that somebody can improve, they should. And if they don't improve, are they being the best version of themselves? The answer is no. We got that. We're simply saying when that man said, "Hey, man, you know what? You're probably more." That brother on the sofa told that guy that you are probably more valuable than 99% of women, quote unquote. And then you came back and said, "I can see that he's fat. He ain't high value." I am telling you, fat ain't got nothing to do with a man's high valueness or not. That's all this is.
Can I just ask you one question, and JR, you can move on. Let me just ask one question. Would you, if you had a player, if you were a coach of a pro league, and you had a player, and he was the last one out of the gym, and you came up to him and you said, "Hey, look, man, you're better than 99% of the guys who come in here, but this guy he struggles. He has a worse free throw percentage. Everybody else is hitting on the same level, the same points he hit on it as far as his rebounding, his conditioning, his ability to play defense and all those things. But he is the worst free throw shooter. Would you honestly tell him that, hey, look, you're better than 99% of the guys who come in this gym?"
Yeah, so you just described the movie Drumline, and because he couldn't read music, is he still better than everybody else that's in the line? The answer is yes. If he's actually better, and his stats are showing that he's better and he's faster and he's quicker and he got more hands, but he's missing on whatever metric that you particularly talk about, then the answer is yeah.
Still
okay. So you said what Drumline would do. You didn't say what you would do. I asked you. You say that.
I said yes. I thought.
Okay, so that's where the disconnect of me personally. I wouldn't tell a player that he's better than 99% when when everybody is doing the same thing he's doing. And across the board, and everybody is able to shoot free throws, but he's the one that's not. I'm not going to tell him he's 99. I'm going to be like, look, you need to work on your free throws.
Well, I will argue. By the way, I will argue that that's a different conversation because this is a person that's on your team. This is a person that's on your team, and you're trying to win. So obviously, you're going to try to maximize everybody across the board potential. But if you're just talking about if I was talking about hoopers in general, and I know, and Marcus is used to play pro ball, right?
He just described Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal couldn't shoot no free throws.
Marcus played pro ball, or he had the potential to play pro ball. If other pro ballers came in and told him, "Yeah, bro, he cold. That boy cold on the court." And they said, "Nigga, he really is better than 99.9% of the people out there that hoop."
But he can't shoot free throws.
So I think I see what a disconnect is, Darwin. What most of the gentlemen on the panel are saying is once you get to a level of being hyper successful, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. That's not even something that you have to consider. You could be ugly as hell. We see it all the time. Ugly dudes, old ass dudes, whatever dudes. Once you hyper successful, you are desirable. You are high value no matter what. That dude with his podcast, as popular he is hyper successful. So that's not gonna cut it. But I see where Darwin's point is, because even the dude in the video, right? And I don't know if he was trying to sneak this dude or whatever, but he definitely said, well, he would tell a dude, "Yo, you need to go to the gym." So for the average person, I think that's something that you would absolutely have to consider because it's going to open up your options. But the problem is when you do basically you do come with a 90, right? It doesn't matter how 90 comes in. If you just have a bunch of success, a lot of the other shit doesn't even matter, right? But the more you have, if let's say you don't have that, now you need to bring other things to the table. You need to start making sure that you're in shape. You can't be an asshole no more. You don't have fuck you money. That's the problem. So you need a balance of like a 90 to come to these women. So that's what a lot of the gentlemen are saying.